EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
You see it? Look.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. It's his target, it's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions will take over at the 20. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 34 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, Get him out in the flat and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The first carry down. This is Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll toss it to Breida. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throw left side, complete to Sharp. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 15. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Lock in. Hey, 18. Hey, 18.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a third and about 13. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
18, 18. Lock in.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They run with Breida, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the 50, Stafford throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And a solid run down inside the 30. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Let's go now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run. This is Cohen. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. This is Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third and 2, Stafford. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Blue.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
You see it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Let's go. Red, up. Up. 180. Red, up.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded at the goal line. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. but it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Here's Breida. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Tag 32! Tag 32!
They run again with Breida, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
22! Hey, tag 50 left! 53! Ready! Go here!
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go for his own blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Four down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now it's Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back to the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
He got 29 yards that time. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. That's complete, right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Trubisky to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
Gotta go.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
10. Hey, red. Tag 50. Hey.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now it's Trubisky. But he's going to be wrapped up, and and driven down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation. And that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Back now at Soldier Field.
Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
18.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing here, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Tano Passanio in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 19. Trubisky will throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Miller. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And
keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Finding room to the 20. A big run there. 29 yards and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's going to get taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Sit up! 180! Red, up!
One last shot for Trubisky. And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone.